Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is September the 28th, 2025. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Happy Sunday. Hopefully, it's been a fun day for you. As for me, my day was pretty good. I've had an action-packed weekend, so we'll go ahead and just start from where we left off yesterday. Post podcasting, I wound up taking a little bit of a nap, which was a bit of a setback for me in terms of my timing yesterday. But I've got to say, it's been notorious for naps this weekend. I've been sleeping all the time, but it's probably for the best. It's probably for the best that I'm getting some rest, because Lord knows I need it. But yeah, I ran a little bit behind to start my night going into Northside, but it was good to be back. Better late than never, they say. So, we hang out real quick. We wind up going to Chameleon to start the night. We get my classic three slices. I say my classic three slices, but we switched it up a bit. There was no veg this time for me because it was just ratatouille and greens. And I've kind of established that even though it's a good slice of pizza, it's kind of a filler pizza. Like that, there's not much going on there. We've had that. It's been traveled. It's fine. It's good. But, I'll go ahead and just get a cheese instead. Then I got a slice of cheese, a slice of pepperoni, and then I got the Bianca, which is like the white cheese or whatever. Now the Bianca was, supposed to be the star of the show. It was like some kind of tomato situation. It had some tomato. It had some other things on it. I really don't recall. But I know that they put some balsamic on there again, and that was okay. All right, we'll go ahead and get that one. But I gotta say, that was a very lackluster slice. It just really wasn't good. More times than not, when they put the balsamic on the slice, it's not too loud, it's not overpowering. But for some reason, the whole ensemble of ingredients just didn't come together, in my opinion. Pizza kind of fell a little bit flat. So the pepperoni and the cheese pizza was definitely what I was leaning on for the night. It was very good, very yummy. So that's how we start off the night. Then, of course, we go to Northside, Northside Tavern. We go there, we kick it. Then, of course, we close out the night at Junkers. And it was fun. So it was a fun little, 3 hops. Then we closed the night out at the homie's house. And we were in the lab. We were in the lab cooking. I say we, but I was just, I was just there getting ready to experience it. I was on my like Anthony Bourdain style shit, as I always am at the end of the night. Just like, oh, there's more food. Show it to me. Yes, please make some. So, one person made eggs with some feta cheese, and then 2 hash browns, in which they made into a sandwich. Oh, yummy. Yum, 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 yum. Scrumptious. I knew that that's what we were doing, but I didn't know it was going to be an end result of 2 hash browns coming together sandwich style. Oh, innovation. So that was yummy. Then another friend, they were saying, hey, we got this, we got a bagel. Let's go half on this bagel, you and I. I'm going to put some Biscoff cookie butter on there and some Oreos on there. And we're going to toast it. And I said, yes to all those things. Let's go. So ate that. That was just a yummy little, segue. And there was one more thing that I wanted because we had talked about it earlier. And they said, hey, I'm prepping a bunch of bean and cheese burritos. And, they had mentioned it before they were going to go to bed. And I was like, yes, I do want 2 of those. If you could, would you kindly heat those up? And I found out that not only was it bean and cheese, but also with some peppers. They stole the show last minute, yo. Oh, it was so good. So yummy. So I was gorged on food. I was living fat on the hog. It was so good. It was so yummy. Close out the night with a little bit of rest. Wake up. It's Sunday. All right. So now Sunday, I get up. I go back home. Take another nap, a long nap. We're resting. And I get up, I think, around, I want to say like 11, 12-ish. So I was like, all right, we've slept in, we're rested enough. Let's go ahead and start this Sunday officially. We get to the grocery store. Grocery store is very busy. Don't like it. I'm spending too much money now. I don't like that either. This tariff shit is really, really cooking my shit. But, I've been saying that. And also, it just sucks in general that money is tight for me right now. But I'm trying to do better about not being all, oh, money woes, money woes. We all got that shit. I know that. But we get through grocery shopping and wind up going to the gym. And I started off the gym thinking, even though it's supposed to be a heavy lift day, I was going to lift a little bit lighter. I didn't go for my max bench press. I was just like, nah, we're kind of a little bit of a chill mode. I'm a bit gassy, maybe let's go crazy today. But I do that, and then after that, I was like, nah, fuck it. We're going to keep going hard. We're going to go hard. So I maxed out the rest of my Smith machine, movements, and they go well. Specifically the deadlift, we went right back on 6 again. Let's go. Felt good. I want to attribute this to a little bit of a change I think I made. Initially, for the longest time, I've been doing a little bit of a wider grip when it comes to my deadlift. I don't know why. I think it mirrors what I've been doing in the bench, where I want to say, hey, I want to have the wider range on my grip, and that'll help give me more control. At least I felt. Now, obviously, I'm not a fucking expert. I don't know why this is working or why this is happening, but I've changed that now to be closer to my legs. So like now my grip is closer in general, and I'm more just lined up, I guess. That's how I would describe it. So now when I go to do the shoot, I go to actually lift. It's seemingly a little bit easier, and for some reason I have a better grip, which is something I didn't think I would have, given the fact that I'm gripping closer. But this whole weekend I've been trying that, and it's been working. So maybe there's proof in that pudding. I don't know. Obviously, don't take that as any kind of expertise. It's just something that's working for me currently. But yeah, it was nice to just feel like, okay, maybe we're on to something with this. Maybe this will definitely help me, from now into the future. So we like that. The rest of the workout went well. It was nice. Just a good clean pump, baby. Post that, we got home. I was doing some research, and I got the sleepies again. I got tired again, and I said, hey, I can muscle through this, but I know that either post cooking, whatever, I'm going to have to go back to sleep, and that's going to wreck my sleep schedule. So it's probably better to just get as ahead of it as I can and just try to sleep now. So I fell asleep. I think it was for about maybe like an hour or two, another long nap for me. And, here we are. We're up, and we're ready to yap to the best of our ability, at least. Let's knock on some wood for that. I don't know. But yeah, it's been a good weekend. Great weekend. Like I said, a little bit impromptu in terms of that Friday situation, but it worked out for the best. It's been what I needed. It was nice. But yeah, we have one more week of September, and I'm hoping to finish, fully strong and, fully well. I don't know. And hopefully, we just have a good one. But yeah, let's go ahead and do our startup, and let's get into some news. Okay, I hit the spot. All right. From the BBC, at least 40 dead in crush at political rally in India. At least 40 people have died in a crush at a political rally in the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu, officials say. Tens of thousands of people had gathered on Saturday at a campaign event for actor-turned-politician Vijay, the southern Karur district. In the southern Karur district. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin told reporters that the victims included 9 children, at least 17 women, and 13 men. A further 51 people are receiving treatment in hospital, he said. Police have filed a case against 3 senior members of Vijay's TVK party. Potential charges relate to homicide and negligent conduct, they said. TVK originally sought permission for a gathering of 10,000 people, but the actual crowd was more than double. Tamil Nadu Police Chief V. Selvaraj told Reuters news agency. Vijay was addressing the rally in the Karur district when the crowd surged suddenly, forcing him to halt his speech. It was delayed by several hours, local media reported. Images broadcast on television showed people fainting in packed crowds. Compensation of 1 million rupees, or $11,300, will be provided to the families of the deceased, Chief Minister Stalin added, and there will be an inquiry into the incident. One man told Indian news agency ANI from outside a hospital that his brother's two sons had been at the event. And he has a really sad quote. Actually, we'll read it. The elder one passed away. The younger one is missing. My relatives, my sister-in-law, is in the ICU. What should I do? He said. Vijay wrote in an online statement that his heart was broken and that he was in unbearable, indescribable pain and sorrow. He sent his deepest sympathies and condolences to the families of those who had died and prayers for a speedy recovery to those in hospital. Sadly, this isn't the first time. I'm sure it won't be the last time that we cover, a crush like this in this kind of situation. I feel like they do the best they can, but when you come up short in terms of like saying, hey, we think the attendance is going to be this, and we're able to handle that, and then it's double that. You're overwhelmed, and there's nothing you can kind of do, and I feel like at that point you're kind of just on a wing and a prayer that nothing bad happens at said event, and then it does, and then you kind of just have to live with the aftermath of it. It's what it seems, at least for my time covering these kind of events. But yeah, definitely condolences to the people involved in this kind of situation, and we'll see what comes of the future. I don't have much insight in terms of VJ, his political blah blah yada yada yada. I know he is an actor turned politician, and seemingly he's been having a really good run. So good that he hasn't had to even coalesce with any other groups or parties. He's been able to run it alone, which I think is something that he said was important to him. Like, he didn't want to have to compromise. He wanted to actually make change. But I'm sure something like this is definitely not something he ever wanted to see happen or be a part of in that way. So that's a bummer. That is unfortunate. But yeah, we have other news I wanted to get to, so let's go ahead and hit the next thing. From CNN, at least 4 dead and 8 others wounded after shooting and fire at Michigan church. At least 4 people were killed and 8 others were wounded today in a shooting at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township, Michigan, police said. Authorities say a gunman rammed a vehicle through the front of the church during a large service, began shooting, and then intentionally set a fire that grew into a large blaze. Police believe they may still find victims in the burnt-out building. Now, they were able to put out the fire, and then officers exchanged fire with the gunman and killed him. According to police, investigators have identified the man as Thomas Jacob Sanford, a 40-year-old from the nearby city of Burton. Grand Blanc is a suburb of Flint, Michigan, and is about an hour's drive north of Detroit. So if we get any more details from an event like this, from a shooting situation like this, we'll definitely come back to it. But it's been, sadly, grimly, a busy weekend in that regard in terms of shootings, because there was another one that we are going to cover next. From also CNN. Marine veteran in custody after 3 killed, at least 8 injured in shooting at a waterfront bar in North Carolina, officials say. A 40-year-old Marine veteran who pulled up to a waterfront North Carolina bar by boat fatally shot 3 people Saturday night, authorities say, shattering the peaceful atmosphere of a community rarely touched by violent crime. Out-of-towners were enjoying the warm weather and music on an outdoor deck at the American Fish Company in Southport, a small and tranquil city near the mouth of the Cape Fear River, when gunshots rang out. 8 people were injured, and at least 1 victim is now clinging for their life, John David, district attorney for North Carolina's Judicial District 5, said at a Sunday morning news conference. Nigel Edge, who received a Purple Heart for his service in Iraq, was arrested Sunday and charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, 5 counts of attempted first-degree murder, and 5 counts of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill. Southport Police Chief told Todd Coring, said Sunday. That sentence weird. Anyway, police think Edge acted alone and said the attack was highly premeditated. CNN is working to identify whether Edge has an attorney. Additional charges are still possible, Coring said. Edge was taken into custody when the U.S. Coast Guard encountered his boat after the attack, according to the Oak Island Police Chief Charles A. Morris II. Let's see. They also make a note here. There have been at least 324 mass shootings, defined as when at least four people are shot, not including the shooter, in the U.S. so far this year, according to the Gun Violence Archive. So, yeah, and rising, of course, sadly. Let's see. Just before 9:30 p.m., a boat approached the bar, and the sole person on board opened fire. City Public Information Officer Cheyenne Ketchum said in a news release. The shooter then fled toward the nearby Intercoastal Waterway, heading in a direction of the neighboring community of Oak Island, North Carolina. Many of the victims of the shooting appear to have been visiting Southport on vacation, David said. The shooting unfolded at a waterfront deck where people were just enjoying live music under the stars. The thread that connects everyone who's a victim in this case to this point just appears to be a love of having a good time and enjoying all that Southport has to offer, he said. David said the victims may be publicly identified Monday after their families are notified. Let's see, I'm going to skip ahead a bit here. The suspect is an Oak Island resident and was known to police, Morris, the police chief, said. Edge had filed several lawsuits against the town and the police department in the past year, according to Morris. Edge was a sergeant who served in the Marines from 2003 to 2009. A United States Marines Corps spokesperson told CNN. He deployed in Operation Iraqi Freedom, the 2003 invasion of Iraq. He received a variety of awards for his service, including a Purple Heart awarded to service members who suffer wounds in combat, and a Humanitarian Service Medal, the spokesperson said. His last assignment was in Wounded Warrior Battalion East, a North Carolina center that supports injured Marines. Edge, who had changed his name from Sean de Bevois, was featured in local news articles that discussed his service and his road to recovery from injuries he sustained. In the past several years, Edge has filed a string of civil lawsuits with rambling, sometimes conspiratorial claims. One lawsuit against the Department of Veteran Affairs was filed September 24th, less than a week before the shooting. Ed is set to appear in court on Monday. He is being held without bond, according to the district attorney. Now, they don't know a motive, but I mean, at least from that information, maybe we could kind of scrap something. I don't know. I don't want to overly, over speculate or anything like that. But once again, definitely an unfortunate situation. But we will be back to the story with more information. All right, we have one more story that I wanted to cover. And it looks like New York's favorite mayor is out for good. But no, we will do our last break and we will get into the fate of Eric Adams. All right, from Politico. Eric Adams ends re-election campaign. Oh, so sad. No, this is good news to me, at least, and it's not surprising. But let's go ahead and read up a little bit. New York City Mayor Eric Adams said Sunday he is ending his re-election campaign, a move that virtually ensures he will lose in November and seals his fate as the city's first one-term mayor since David Dinkins. It has been my honor to be your mayor, Adams said in a 9-minute video announcing his departure from the race. And I'm proud to say that we took that victory 4 years ago and turned it into action, making the city better for those who have been failed by government. Yeah, sure, man. I really, outside of the corruption and all that fucking bullshit, I mean, the only notable thing that I can really think of that was worth talking about to me was like what he nominated or he elected a rat czar to deal with the rat problem. I don't know. I didn't hear too much in terms of that getting better. I think they're still chucking around cheese slices and shit. I don't know, man. But anyway, let's keep reading. Sorry. Despite all we achieved, I cannot continue my re-election campaign, Adams said. The constant media speculation about my future and the campaign's finance board's decision to withhold millions of dollars have undermined my ability to raise the funds needed for a serious campaign. Yeah, man, it's not your money, bro. You didn't get back in with the party you lost. Also, it's crazy, too, not just he that lost. Fucking Cuomo lost, who is running as a fucking independent. This motherfucker is refusing to say die, even though he did concede already to Mamdani in the primaries. He's like, nah, I'm gonna keep running. I'm actually the guy who's supposed to win this whole thing. In spite of that, whatever. There's Curtis Siwa, who is a Republican. No one's talking about this guy. Motherfuckers are talking about JoJo Siwa more than they're talking about Curtis Siwa in New York, even in goddamn New York. So I don't know. He's not. I really feel like he's not worth the breath. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, it's still, once again, it's just Mamdani and Cuomo repeated for the whole thing, for the whole mayoralship. I don't think that's the word, but you know, they're the ones running for mayor. Now, what is it? Eric Adams is still going to be on the ballot. Because of the timing of all this, he can't be off of it, but he's essentially a dead ticket. There's another guy on there. I'm not going to waste time with his name, but he's also a dead ticket. But he has been lobbied by others in New York, other, New Yorkers with money or whatever influence, to step down, to quit, to give Cuomo a better shot. Not just within New York, but also the Trump administration has been trying to coax him to quit with potential, I think, ambassador type positions and roles, things like that. Like, essentially, we'll give you a job if you quit now, if you quit running, you stop running. And initially he said, no, I'm not fucking leaving. I'm going to keep this fight going. But then there was seemingly cracks. I think there was some kind of interview with Al Sharpton where he kind of got a little coy, a little dodgy about it, and here we are. But yeah, I'm glad he's done. I'm glad he's out. I'm glad his goose is fucking cooked. Terrible fucking mayor, corrupt as fuck fucking mayor. It's crazy. This motherfucker got to dodge a whole ass legal bullet. The sword of Damocles was ready to fall on this motherfucker for all his dumbass illegal trips to Turkey. And nah, it's fine. It's fine. He gets to just walk out scot-free. Man, it's so wild. We just a couple weeks ago covered, a fucking bribery incident with someone who's connected to this man. But it just doesn't matter, man. This dude is a bulletproof ex-cop, he's technically, what is it? He's technically a Democrat, but, like I said, the cop thing kind of makes him more or less just a blue hog. I don't know, man. What a fucking joke. What a scam. I'm at least glad that he is a one-term. It's more or less over for this man. Granted, I know, who knows? Maybe we see him as the ambassador to Saudi Arabia or something. I don't know. Turkey would probably be fitting, right? I don't know. We'll see if maybe that offer is still good by the Trump administration. I know they love getting faces of color for sure. All right. I'm sure there's more to say, better ways to fucking say it, but I'm not doing that tonight. That's the episode. But obviously, we will be back to New York, if we get any more updates that I feel are relevant, at least in terms of the mayoral race. Not really trying to focus too much on that, more or less waiting for the day, for the result, when it all goes down. But, that's a bit away. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's all we got. And it's Sunday. I don't want to shill. So, we'll just go ahead and wrap this shit up. So, yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.